Hi, I'm Joackim, and I'm here with Joackim, Head of Customer Success Europe at new SVG Europe sponsor ScorePlay. It's good to see you, Joackim.
Good to see you, Joe. Thanks for inviting me to that chat.
No problem. What trends are you seeing in the live entertainment sector and sports in particular when it comes to content creation and management?
Okay, I would say it's the power of more. It's always more, more, and more. First from if we take a wide point of view, we see bigger IPs of live entertainment and sports rights moving from different ownerships. It's a super huge attraction to the market. Current leagues expanding or adding always more, more matches, more events, more tournaments to their calendar. New competitions being launched by top tier organizations, and even new verticals being created. In basketball, we can talk about 3 versus 3 expanding. Indeed, the FIFA Club World Cup was a huge shift and event that happened recently. We can mention, the new format of the club competitions for UEFA with more matches in the league phase that happened with the last season and so on. And we can always expand it to new pure players and competitions. Kings Leagues has been being talked a lot about in the recent months and years. And all these like new sports properties, current sports properties expanding or adding more, and IP being quite valuable to many investors on the market, shows that live entertainment and sports being at the top of it quite often has a huge value. It has a huge value in terms of attention, in terms of engaging multiple audiences, in terms of creating momentum and like training the attention. Uh, and I think in a world today with a lot of content, AI produced, flooding all over the digital and social media. I think authenticity of life is always kind of synonym to, I would say, um, uh, pure emotions, pure actions, the surprise elements as well to life. And then it raises big questions on how you, I would say, how do you make that live material generating more revenues, being optimized from a cost point of view, and driving, more and streamlined engagement and attention and visibility across the entire ecosystem.
Okay. And how important are streamlined workflows in meeting this demand for more content, and what are the key factors to consider here?
So I would say first, I will take the analogy of OTT. The fans are always, complaining about the offer being super fragmented, having to move from different platforms to watch and engage with different properties. And I think from the media workflows and the media operations, it's kind of the same. What you want is to reduce this fragmentation. You want to centralize and you want to mutualize more, because if you can unify everything you produce around a specific sport or a specific event into one single place, first you're mutualizing your cost because you don't have to multiply your tech stack. You can get your live feeds, your additional angles, your on-demand video production, your social media production, your photo production, your design production into potentially one place. And then if everything is centralized into one single place, it's super easier for your ecosystem to access it. You don't have, as a right holders or as a broadcaster, as a commercial partner, or as a team, national associations or club, or as an athlete, or even thinking, non-right holders, news publishers, and so on. If you know where to find the content that you can utilize and push across your own channels and properties, it's much easier. There is a huge, fragmentation around distribution, and we always see it through the lens of the fans, on OTT. But it works for the entire, the same way for the entire industry. And how can you get better access and unified access to your ecosystem from one single place to everything you produce? And then, if as a broadcaster or if as a commercial partner, I know I can get access to live material, on demand material, photography, additional content into one single place, first, I reduce the pain around distribution. So that's the connecting everything you produce the best way to your ecosystem is quite key in terms of distribution. There is one second angle. This is um, the all the automation. We live in an AI-driven and a data-driven world. Um, who can use tech to work for you? It's quite easy to say that time is the number one currencies in today's world. So everything needs to be faster. And I was talking about distribution, and distributing faster and easier to all your stakeholders and targets is hugely important. But it goes the same with contextualization, search of content, managing everything you produce, because we always produce more. You produce more to address more audiences. You produce more to address more platforms and channels, and all that material has also value. Um, and you don't want to get it lost in translation when it comes to archives management, when it comes to find the right best-in-class content that you captured, or that fly on the wall shot that can become a viral, moment. Uh, Concrete example: AS Monaco, Pogba signing, tears in the eyes when he's signing. This is pure gold, and this is gold that you want to easily find today, but tomorrow and the day after. And for that, a lot of time it required a lot of manual resources when it came to contextualizing, tagging, administrating content, making sure it was not stored in so many various places, or hard drives, NAS, SANs, different cloud storage. And unifying is also about, okay, I get everything into one single place, and I run and use tech and data to automatically qualify and contextualize it as much as possible. Contextualizing what event it was, what were the athletes or player on that specific media, and having tech working for you. So all the people that are more on the creative and content production part, they actually save their time not doing that, so they can focus on the creativity part of their work, which is usually what is to me the most essential, one of the most essential components is unlocking creativities to those content and media producers. So instead of spending time administrating media, they can actually spend time on thinking on how they can create, produce, and give to the fans uh, best and new narratives on the events and the properties they cover. The
Absolutely.
last one, um, the last one. So distribution, administration, contextualization with tech. The last one is probably centralization and mutualization of the production cost. From my perspective, it feels like that when you're producing a live event, the more camera you're adding, the more feeds you want to add, the more like coverage you want to bring to the event, always drive linear cost kind of way. Like it's scaling, the costs are scaling the same way as your production. So okay, you want additional feeds for multiple spots or stadiums or courts in tennis. It requires more hardwares, it requires more operators, it requires hobby vans and trucks. So it requires like a lot. And I think at some point there is like a collective reflection that needs to be, okay, how can we scale the production, the volume of things that we actually create and deliver with mutualizing the production cost?
Okay. And so how is ScorePlay helping its customers to do all these things and to work more flexibly and efficiently? And what solutions do you have here?
Um, So first, I would say that we're convinced that we're bringing an expertise with a great product and AI and UI. So, delivering a great product to all the partners we're working for. So for them to use something that is easy to understand, intuitive, and that can meet their needs. Being flexible is quite important depending on, you're working with an important basketball international federation such as FIBA, or you're working with some football clubs, or you're working with FESCI, the International Ski Federation. You always have to adapt what you offer to the needs of your customers because their ways of working, their setups are different, and you need to understand that with an expertise. So, number one, I would say we bring sports expertise because we are like a sports first and media first company. So we really deep dive into the workflows of our customers to understand how do they work, what can we streamline, how can we plug ScorePlay into their workflows. Number one. Number two, it's coming with great product uh, you know, uh, so always thinking on how the product can better work by itself, can be more understandable by the different audiences that are gonna use the platforms, from the power users in an internal organization such as the video editors or the content producers to the destinations or the targets, thinking clubs, athletes, broadcasters, and so on. And these are always different requirements and way of using the platform. And then the last one is also, developing ways of providing smarter decisions, providing better analytics to everything that is on the platforms and that is being consumed from the platforms, uh, automation using API based integration so we can connect ScorePlay to the key, I would say, tech stack of our partners. So, thinking on automating as much as possible, providing a great product with a good UI and UX, and also providing the analytics or the understanding so they can fine tune their decision when it comes to producing the next events or adapting what creative people or production media experts actually do on the platform. So, on that, I can give you a few good examples on what we are doing with key customers. If it gives a bit more context with it, but we are partnering with FIBA, for example, and we are owning the on-demand media distribution through ScorePlay. So all the official media partners and right holders that have rights for the AfroBasket, EuroBasket, Asian Cup, and so on for FIBA can actually get access to ScorePlay to all the videos, the photos that they produce that are automatically tagged coming from different sources into one single platform through branded portals. So depending on the level of rights you have, depending on the competitions, your experience will be personalized and you can get instant access to what you want. Um, when it comes to CAF, it's quite interesting. We had the AFCON 1 year ago, but we have the African Championships nation that is currently playing all the matches live ingested through SRT on ScorePlay for live editing, live clipping by the CAF video editors. Everything is automatically stored on the platforms, and then we generate the distribution to broadcasters, commercial partners, players and teams can directly access their match photos or their match clips from the platform directly. So that's one concrete example as well. We're working with like the top leagues in the US, such as MLS, NWSL, CONCACAF, USL, and helping creating better synergies when it comes, to unifying their media operations and their media workflow, reducing fragmentation, optimizing um, contextualization of older media, and facilitating distribution. And I could go with more and more LFP. This is quite an interesting example in the skiing world, where from all the winter disciplines that are covered by international ski federation, World Cup events, World Championships, everything, every live events were going to ScorePlay, and from those live events, the athletes directly could use ScorePlay as a content exchange platform where they were actually getting their clips in vertical and landscape super easily from ScorePlay directly for them to use on their own social media channels. So, um, all those key stakeholders needs to be addressed with respective workflows and touch points because the way a broadcaster will access content is and their expectations are way different from an athlete. But you need to reach them all from I would say standardized logic as much as possible.